morning. Today we're going to SLY. It is freezing outside, and we're gonna see how it goes. First time taking the S15 out, actually on a track other than just out in the mountains. So let's get this party started. So for this video, I don't have much commentation, so I'm just gonna kind of do a reaction as I'm kind of watching it. But after we took off, we just drove out there. It took about an hour and a half to get there, and it's a pretty chill drive though, kind of scenic, and just showing off a little bit of the drive going on. Again, my first time at the track, I was able to do about 35 laps. And so right here we're just following Landon in his DC2 Type R. He's been out here a couple times, so getting a feel and a good understanding of the track and stuff. So the first 5 laps were pretty much a chill warm-up, kind of just familiarizing yourself, because there's no track walk or anything. At least we didn't get a track walk. We showed up a little late, so. But a lot of the turns, there's a couple turns that are a little off camber. So like this turn here is a little off camber, so that one can catch you. There's a MB or ND Miata, I think it's ND Miata that understeered off the track over there, so you gotta be careful. But this is so I'm in the S15, so 6-speed, you know. This turn right here is pretty hard, but it just wanted to slide quite a bit, but kind of stayed into it. We just tried to straighten out the turn in the future. I didn't get to play with any settings really, because I have super street coilovers with EDFC, so I can adjust dampening, but that's about it. But for this setup, I just ran on setting 8 for the front and 10 in the rear, and we just rolled with it for like that for the whole day. But so coming around the last turn, going up to turn 1, first, second, or as well as second, third, go to third, brake about at the cone is probably the best spot, right by that big sign. As it got later on in the day, I would hug that first and second turn a little bit more on the actual concrete. This little Swift right here it was pretty fast also. So this track is more ideal for smaller cars. It's pretty tight. I don't know if you can notice that in the video, but it's pretty tight and a lot of quick jumps from second gears. Like second gear is a little bit too short, and then obviously third gear is a little bit too long. So it was pretty difficult to try and figure out what gear I wanted to be in at different sections of the track. But going from second to third down the straight, braking at that cone, picking our line, trying to cut over the concrete a little bit on the left, sticking to the left, then kind of running a little bit deep, a little bit later apex on the out of turn 2 to try not slide. Third turn is a little bit, if you can get it set up straight, you can full throttle through 3 and 4, the slight bends, coming up to 5 with the tight hairpin. Again, a little bit of a mid apex to try and swing wide to set up for your second hairpin. As you come around that bend, try not to go wide, cut across little curbs on both sides, and try not to understeer off the side of the track right there. And come up, brake hard. Again, hit a little bit of almost a little bit of a late apex, because that outside of the last turn is a little bit open, so you can kind of run a little bit wider, a little bit harder. This section right here, it was hard to decide whether it was I'm going to stay in second gear or third gear. I can't remember what I did on my fastest lap, but for the 6-speed and the S15, it was a little bit tricky to kind of decide, because it was maxing out the top of second, but I feel like you kind of lose time at the same time as going to third gear. So it's a little bit of a decision-making process right there, just kind of feeling it out. Also, traffic there is pretty bad on the track. I mean, I think at one point in time there was probably like 15-ish cars on the track, and you know, it's only a 40-second lap time, so it gets pretty congested. So trying to figure out your lines and trying to get spacing to get a decent lap is kind of difficult, but it's manageable, definitely manageable. I think looking back, if I was to do it again, which I mean I will, but I think I'm going to try and soften up the rear. Also definitely get better tires, because I end up finishing 8th of about 30 people is my guess, and I think most of them had R compound or more of a race oriented tire. So that, coupled with my turn 2 problems of wanting to slide every time I got on the throttle out of there, because it's pretty tight and it's uphill. Like there's quite a bit of undulations, like the elevation changes are pretty serious. Well, relatively speaking, it is reminiscent of kind of the mountain roads here. But yeah, if you set this turn up, you can full throttle through second, shift to third, get on a brake early, try and get slowed down, hug the inside line, swing a little bit wide, which that one wasn't good, come up to another braking zone, try and cut a little bit tighter, but it's pretty difficult, definitely difficult to try and get that optimum line. And as you can see, we start catching up to some traffic and stuff. This little 660, which is pretty fast, he was on our compound tires, he's able to roll out. I'm sure he had one of the fastest lap times. I think that one had a roll cage in it and endless brakes, so it was pretty set up. His Legacy looked like it might have been too heavy or something, because I know he's making more power than I am, because I'm only sitting at about 200 wheel. Ain't nothing crazy. So the modifications to the car is nothing crazy either. It's just aero and coilovers. Like I said, just the super street dampening only. It has two-piece rotors on the front with larger rotors front and rear, and that is about it. So pretty much a stock S15 running around the track. And it's got T37s, which I'm sure helps a little bit. But yeah, this goes on for a couple more minutes, so I'll just kind of sit back and let you watch, and then at the end of it is just a cruise home and a couple pictures at the end of us out there. But thanks for watching, and hope you enjoy.